Welcome to Forks for Thought. This is Avery Loda.
And Peyton Lewis.
And we're your hosts for this episode. We just got back from break, and I realized how much, school is, the problem. It is so stressful.
Having 2 weeks off to lay in bed and literally just be like, I'm not stressed about anything is such a foreign feeling. But it's also so sad that I've literally been happy about school because I just haven't been able, I've had nothing looming over my head. That's a problem, I feel like.
Yeah, and I didn't have, a relaxing, break.
We're both on trips.
No, yeah, I skied the whole time, which is, that's tiring.
Right.
That's exhausting. I sprained my MCL, and I still was less stressed than when I have, homework and assignments and everything, because it genuinely, puts so much on your, plate and on your mind, constantly. When I leave school, I'm still thinking about school, all night long. And so to finally be just, I was getting up early, too. I was literally doing everything I would have done in a school day.
Yeah.
But it just wasn't as stressful.
That's my thing. I was thinking about this the other day, is that, you come home, you wake up at the butt crack of dawn, okay?
Yeah.
And you get to school, you do school all day, and you come home.
We literally see the sunrise. When I'm sitting in my first period, the sun is rising.
I wake up, pitch dark outside. I
Same.
get up, pitch dark outside. I walk
Cold.
to my car, pitch dark outside. And I
Yeah.
have to sit there, and it doesn't get light until I'm basically, I'm at school.
Yeah, we're here.
That's insane. I was just thinking about it, and I was like, we have school, we wake up early, it's still dark outside, it's school, you come home, the sun is setting, then you work. If you have extracurriculars, you do that, but then you just have homework. I have consistently had homework for every single one of my classes.
Yeah.
Except for my fourth period, because my fourth period is chorus. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but in the grand scheme of things, that is so much school. I understand homework is important, but that's so much to do after you spent a whole day there, mind you.
I was gonna say, it's not like you didn't do anything your whole afternoon and you saved it.
Right.
You genuinely are staying up late because it is just too much for every day.
Right.
I've been up till midnight most nights this whole school year, and I'm not messing around with my time.
No.
I just have so much to do after school, and that should be my time. I should be able to go to dance for 5 hours
Right.
and not be stressed and have to stay up till midnight, but that's not how it is.
But also, it shouldn't be the choice of do I take a shower or do I do my homework, right? That's not even putting yourself first versus putting your schoolwork first. That's such a bad cycle that once you get into, it's so hard to break.
Yeah.
But you feel if you do anything else, I feel if I wanted to go and work out,
Mm-hmm.
I feel I'm basically screwing myself because I'm taking 30 minutes for myself and my health instead of my homework.
I have felt that way every single day that I've been at dance this year. I have felt I'm spending too much time at dance, and I should be sitting in my room or anywhere doing my homework. My
Right.
Spanish homework, my math homework, whatever it is, that I should not be moving my body and doing something that's fun and meeting new people. Right. Instead, I should be doing homework.
It's so important to meet new people and share experiences and just be, because things are only going to get harder, but also your body was meant to move. There are so many studies that show that your brain, the teenagers' brains don't really work until 10 o'clock in the morning, right? Your body is meant to move. You think better when you have been moving. If it's I don't know, I saw a brain thing, and it was 20
Mm-hmm.
minutes of exercise versus no minutes of exercise,
Mm-hmm.
and you had so much more brain activity after moving. Your body is built to move, and the fact that we feel guilty for not doing that is insane to me.
Yeah. Well, and another, you just brought up, I have chemistry first period at 7:30 in the morning. And that is my worst class by miles.
Yeah.
Miles. Because I am half asleep.
Right.
Even with caffeine, even with...
But even then, you shouldn't have to have caffeine, because how old are we? We're 16, 15,
yeah.
16. That's another thing, the caffeine addiction too.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing, because sometimes it's kind of
No, it's
necessary.
literally the only way I get through.
But that shouldn't have to be it. We shouldn't have to be sacrificing our mental health, physical health by caffeine and not working out and all these stuff just to feel like we're succeeding.
And that's the other thing is it feels if you don't do all this now, you're not going to get anywhere in the future.
Yes.
And no matter how many times people will be people who have done less have been successful, or
Right.
you know, like, you'll be fine even if you do less. Like, it doesn't feel like that.
No.
And it doesn't feel like control when you, like, let that go.
Because we're so focused on, like, success and, like, how you do stuff.
And by success, I mean college.
Yeah. And, like, that's really hard. And college is important, yes, but you shouldn't, like, the competitiveness of everything is just insane. Like, I'm sorry. I had a friend tell me, she's my age, she does extracurricular, she does a college course for math, like, all of this stuff, and she was like, I'm so burnt out. And I'm like, that is insane. Like, you are 16. You should not be sitting here telling me that you're exhausted. This is not a reflection of her, but, like, the fact that we're sitting here, we're feeling these things is insane to me.
Well, and, like, me and Peyton, every day that we see each other, we have something negative to say about how we're feeling. Like,
it's such a bad mindset to constantly
the mindset, that's the thing, is then it puts everything else to be negative, which is, like, I've gotten to the point where, like, when people ask, like, what's your favorite thing about school? Everyone says friends. I don't even feel that way. Like, I love seeing you. I love seeing, like, other people that I know.
Right.
But, like, I don't actually, enjoy the friends at school because I'm always stressed or I'm always working or I'm always...
Right.
Like, it's... The people who, like, actually use their school time for friends are the people who, like, aren't doing as well. Like, I hate to say it, but, like, genuinely, like, if you're using your class time like you should be, like, you talk to your friends, yes, but that's not, like, a standout of your school day.
No, like, whenever I am talking to my friends, especially in AP seminar classes, I feel so guilty for doing anything that's not just my work. And I understand that, like, you know, you should be working, right? Like, this is school. But feeling guilty for having, like, a 5-minute conversation and, like, an hour and a half class period is crazy.
Crazy. Like, 2 weeks before break, we had, like, 3 days off because of snow, or, like, 2 days off because of snow.
It was crazy.
And then we had a 2-hour delay. And then the next week we had, like, a
4
early
days,
release. And, like, a teacher work day or something.
Yeah.
And that was, like, it was crazy to come back and be like, wait, I totally forgot how this worked.
Yes.
But it was so nice. And I don't know if I like, the long breaks. Like, the 2 weeks was good, but I don't know if I want, like, a long break like that all the time.
Yeah.
But, like, the 2-hour difference, like, getting here 2 hours later or leaving here 2 hours earlier, that is amazing.
Yeah.
Like, that changed how well I did that week.
So much.
Insanely.
Right.
Like,
having time to, like, eat breakfast and sleep in and brush your teeth in the morning is so fantastic.
Yeah, and, like, with the 2-hour, like, early release, we had shorter class periods, which meant the teachers could hold our attention longer. Like, I was talking to a teacher, and she was like, I loved that because my classes that are normally more talkative, I could actually hold their attention because we only had to be in there for, like, 45 minutes, like, whatever. And it was nicer for all of us because, like, we do check out. Like, there's every single class, you have your one-time mark, and every time you see it, you're like, can I be done already?
Yes.
Like, every single period, you have your checkout moment, and it was, like, the perfect time, where, like, when I was done, the class was over anyway.
Right.
And we were out of there. And then, those 2 hours when we were released, I used for homework.
Yes.
But that meant that by the time I was done with my homework,
still
had my whole afternoon and my whole evening.
Yes.
And so I don't think that the 2-hour early release or the, like, cutting 2 hours off, I don't think that should be, like, a crazy, like, no, that's terrible. I actually think that that's really helpful.
Yeah.
You either have time to do stuff in the morning, so that you have less in the evening, or we could get out of school 2 hours earlier and have our whole evening still.
Right.
Like, either way, we're getting a morning or an evening.
And that's a lot.
And that helps so much, like, more than I think people realize.
Yeah. That's definitely, I think, that one of the pro cons of the block scheduling is that sometimes I like it because, especially when you have a bunch of different classes, you don't have to, like, content switch a bunch, like, context switching when you're going between homework. But it's more homework sometimes on the same things.
Well, it's just too long. When you have, like, 6 classes or whatever, yes, you have so much different information that you're absorbing. Like, you have every single different subject, you have electives, like, all that type of stuff. Like, I do think that that's more to absorb.
Yeah.
But it's shorter, and so it doesn't feel as painful. It chunks it a
little bit better.
Like, you know, I'll like use Spanish for an example. In Spanish, because we have like longer than hour classes, we're learning like a whole verb tense in a whole day. Like, that is a crazy amount of information to absorb too, and it feels so much heavier and so much longer than if I was learning science and math and reading in that same time.
And it's so difficult too, because if you miss a day for whatever reason, if you get sick, if you go on vacation, if you do whatever, you miss basically 2 days. And in specific subjects like math, that can basically make or break you for that unit. If you miss the first day of a new unit, you're done for. And it's so frustrating because, like, you feel like you, like, trapped, like, especially when you don't feel good. Like, when I don't feel good, I tell myself, just power through. Just get through today. Just do whatever. But that's so unhealthy because not only does it affect other people, right? Like, they could also get sick, but it also affects you because you're obviously not okay. And, like, that is the type of stuff that makes me annoyed because we shouldn't always have to be picking between yourself or school.
A lot, first semester, my mindset was, like, rest when you die. And that's, like, still how I feel, and like I think that's appropriate in some cases to keep you like grounded and humble and not like dramatic. But like overloading yourself to the point where you're genuinely like exhausted and like can't function
is not good.
Not good.
I was in a math lesson. I was doing a bunch of math. She gives us homework. It's 11 questions, and it's not really 11 questions because you do the problem and then you have to check the problem. So it's really like 2 problems in one. And I had been doing math for an hour and a half, and she was like, go do your sheet. And I was like, I can't do this. Like, I physically cannot think anymore. Like, I need a break. I cannot do this anymore. And so that's really where it gets to me. And then same thing with just like anxiety, I guess, too, because this morning I have a math quiz, or a math quest. It's a quiz test thing, whatever. But it was my last one of the semester, and I've been fighting for an 80 in this class because I don't want to take the exam. And I literally remember waking up this morning and, like, I could feel it in my chest. Like, I literally felt like I was being mauled by a bear. Like, I remember we
were sitting in homeroom, and she was, like, genuinely crashing out.
Avery, I feel like I'm going to be mauled by a bear. Like, I can feel it in
my
chest.
And I have totally felt that. I've totally felt that before tests, quizzes, whatever.
And it's so awful because it just swamps you the whole day.
And also, like, everything in our lives that we talk about is school and getting into college. Like, I don't remember the last time that something has not been brought up that's involved college. And I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing. I actually think it's a really good thing that we live in a place where, like, college is pushed. You should be going to college, because I agree. But I also think with how much of your life it takes just to be in school, it cannot be this stressful. Like, there has to be some, like, evenness between how much time it takes up and how hard it is on you. Because to have the first 23 years of your life be absolutely stressful, exhausting, and like a waste of your time, basically, like once you get out of college, that's not how the world is.
I think it definitely depends on what you do, but like just the fact of like, especially for like entry-level jobs, being like, oh, well, I don't have homework to take home. I don't have to continue to do this. Like, it's so nice to just, at least from like an outsider perspective, think about it like that, because it's so stressful.
Well, and maybe you have the same amount of work, and maybe you do have to work once you get home and stuff like that, but the reward is so much higher. Like with us,
like you do actually get paid.
Like with us, what is our reward? Like, you get an A, like, hopefully, like, you can put that on your college app.
Well, that's actually another thing, is that, like, we have literally lost the plot of learning. Like, so many people have been like, well, I'm just doing it to get the exam, right? Like, I'm just doing it to not take the exam.
That's my mindset with everything. I don't know the last time I did an assignment and I was like, I'm doing this because I'm interested in it.
And I think that can go both ways, because I think learning is important, right?
I also think doing things that you don't want to do or you don't have interest in
is important.
It's a really good skill, because you're going to be bored, you're going to not agree, you're going to not be interested, but you can't just like,
you have to do it. But I will say, it is really frustrating.
It's literally overpowering. It's terrible. Like, I have really lately just been feeling like I'm not good enough. Like I need to be doing more. My grades aren't good enough, which like they're all A's.
Yeah.
Like I can't do anything more.
Yes.
Like I am here. I have like extracurriculars.
That is
I'm
so
teaching,
real.
like all that type of stuff. Like there's like I am going to have a good app. Like I will get into some good college, but it doesn't feel like that right now.
No, two things about that is that like I was just so anxious about AP seminar. Like my mom would be like, "What's wrong?" And I'd be like, "I feel like it's gonna get hard. Like I'm scared. Like it's gonna get hard." And she was like, "Okay, so then we have to do something about this. Like if you keep feeling like this, we might have to like take you out of the class because this is ridiculous."
Yeah,
and
my
I agree.
mom said the same thing.
Right, but also then you look at it, and I literally that's the only class I have a 100 in, and you're like, okay, so
wait, that's actually so real.
Yes, and so
it's the best one on that whole whole grade sheet. It's an AP, so
and I was like, okay, so maybe we're losing the plot a little bit. But same thing with everything is so competitive. Like you literally cannot talk to anyone without being like having it become like I did this competition, I did this competition, I did this competition, and it's so annoying, especially because I think at this time it's really important to figure out yourself, but also making connections with other people and learning how to work and be with other people is so important. And when you're constantly fighting for validation or like, you know, who has the highest grade or whatever, it's so hard to make.
Who's doing the most outside? Who's
yes,
doing the most
who's getting the most sleep, whatever. Like, it's so hard to make genuine friendships.
Well, and like with people being like, somehow we have picked like the favorite clubs or the favorite sports. Yes. Like if you are doing those selected, like, I don't know,
you're
5
like elitist.
You're like, you're like gonna get in, which is like, that is so dumb because if you're being an individual and you're good at it and you're versatile and you're like committed and like you're doing more, like no matter what that more is, whether it's a different sport or it's, you know, a different club, like you still get credit for that. Like that was still an accomplishment that you made.
And I can't help but think that the college is the same things over and over again.
Yes.
Like at a certain point, I would just, again, I'm not really a college like recommendation person, but at some point, I would just be like, do what you like, do what you're good at, and just stick with it.
Right.
Like it's gonna look, while it may not look amazing, who cares? Like as long as you show dedication and you're good at what you do and you like have good grades, like there's really not much they can fault you for. I mean,
that's the thing. There's like the clubs that like are really good on like Science Olympiad, FBLA, like those clubs, you do extra school, and not only do you do extra projects, extra writing, extra whatever, you also have to like go to competitions and like present. Like I don't want to do that. I don't even want to do that in school when I have to. Why would I join another thing where I have to do that? Like I love that people are interested in that. I also love that people do that because they think that that's best for them. But for me, that would hurt me more than that would help me.
You,
Having to go to a competition and do extra school and compete in it, that would make me feel so bad about myself and make me so miserable that there's no point in joining that club, no matter how good it looks on a college application. Never in my life. I don't do any clubs. I've heard it so many times, like, oh, you should join. But I don't have the time for that, first of all. I'm doing, like, 3 sports. Like, I don't have time for that, and it would make me so miserable. So even though it's, like, a great thing for my college application, I'm not doing it.
But that's another thing is that, like, everyone just has different learning styles.
Yeah.
Like, just being able to have the freedom to do, like, whatever you need to do is so important. And I think that gets increasingly difficult with school just because like people aren't focused as much as learning anymore, and it's just like trying to get the grade. It does make things so much harder
and stressful for us.
Like it, especially with the lack of like paper writing and like the increase of Chromebooks. Like I will say I do think the Chromebooks have an advantage, but
I'm a writer though. I need to write. I learn better on worksheets.
Yes, because you have to think so much more when you're actually writing things down.
And it gets engraved to your head. You're like, oh, I remember writing this.
Yes,
or I remember doing this.
Because your brain has to think. Like you have to remember how to write that letter itself. Like you're not just typing.
Right.
It's so much more beneficial. Like
my ELA teacher had me do this assignment where you had a note card and you put a word on it that was like your goal for this year, and then you decorated it. And mine was staying present.
That's a good one.
Because I feel like I'm like missing out. I genuinely am missing out on this part of life because I'm so
Yes.
stressed about what's going to be in the future. Like friends, I don't really hang out with my friends. And even like with my sports, like I'm not really looking forward to them because I'm so stressed. So I'm staying present. I'm staying present this year.
Mine was being more creative because I'm creating things because I used to paint. I used to I miss my hot glue gun. Like I used to hot glue gun.
Period.
I used to cut up cardboard and make like little shops and like little things
Oh,
and like
cute.
make fake food and like I miss that part of myself so much, but it only gets harder and harder because like you have extracurriculars, right? You work. Like there's so much that like happens, but that's really my goal is like try to be more creative this year.
So we're gonna try and make it to summer, and we're gonna stay present, and we're gonna be creative.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
Thanks for listening to Forks for Thought with Avery
And Peyton.
Tune in next time at chsthepage.com.